Welcome to the morning feed. We're going to go over in this episode a few updates that we have regarding missing Elijah Vue from Wisconsin. He recently had a birthday, and that was celebrated at a public event that was held by the family. So we're going to go over a little bit about that. And we're also going to go over some court updates and possible things we could see coming down the line pretty soon here regarding Elijah's mother, Katrina Baur. So, just really quickly, for anyone who has not been following this case, Elijah Vue, he is now 4 years old. He went missing when he was 3 years old earlier this year. He was reported missing. An Amber Alert was issued at the time. And unfortunately, Elijah has not ever been found, and he's not received the type of media that a lot of children his age get when they go missing, and just disappear in what seems to be very suspicious circumstances. Um, Unfortunately, I just don't know why, but his case really does not get as much attention as others do. However, the local media in Illinois, Wisconsin, they're really good about showing up for Elijah. So we do have some updates. I was not able to be at the event, but we do have some updates that are coming out that we can share with you about the event. And it had a good turnout. There was a lot of people there, and from everything that I was able to see from being as far away as I am, it was I think it was a nice gathering and a nice show of support for Elijah. So we're also going to go over the latest hearing for his mother, Katrina Baur. I'd like to go back for a minute before we do. So, for anybody who doesn't know, after Elijah disappeared, there was a litany of things, very disturbing information that came out. Maybe I shouldn't say a litany, but there was a lot of disturbing information that came out. And it was quite bombshell because the information that did come out is is messages between Katrina Baur, Elijah's mother, and her boyfriend, who, by all accounts, was caring for Elijah at the time and appeared to be implementing some pretty extreme discipline, or at least what they called discipline. It wasn't, though. It wasn't discipline at all. It was child abuse. And then suddenly, Elijah is just gone. After that, Jesse Vang, the boyfriend, and Katrina Baur, Elijah's mother, were both arrested for child abuse and alleged child abuse, of course, at this time. They're both awaiting trial. They've entered pleas of not guilty, so they're both awaiting trial, and we're waiting to see where all that's going to go. But there was a little bit of a wrench thrown in the wheel lately. Not really a wrench so much as a little suspense, because neither one of them have offered any type of information to help law enforcement to find Elijah or to help figure out what's actually going on here. Both of them appear to have information, perhaps, about where Elijah might be and what happened to lead to his disappearance. So, with all of that in mind, we're still a couple months out before we're going to see much happen with Jesse Vang. But there has been quite a bit happening with Katrina Baur. And back in July, she recently also had her lawyer asked to be removed from the case over a conflict. So there was, of course, that. There has been action on and off with Katrina Baur's case. Now, back in July, a plea hearing for Katrina Baur was scheduled, and her lawyer mentioned in court a possible resolution to the case. Now, when you hear somebody's defense attorney mention that in court, a resolution to the case, you're expecting that some information is going to be offered to help investigators and the prosecution get to where they need to be with this without having to go to trial, without having, to do all these other things. So a plea was expected to be probably already already aired out by now. It has not been, though. There has been no plea agreement. Her lawyer has had to ask to withdraw from the case over a conflict. So even, I guess what I'm getting at here is even more delays. It's going to slow down more, given the fact that now her new attorney has to get caught up to speed, has to figure out, okay, what kind of information are you wanting to give? What are you wanting to plead to? What kind of deal are you trying to work out with the prosecution? Because of course, you have this abuse of, or a charge of mistreating a child in a horrific way, and then that child is also still missing. So we don't know what prosecutors may have in mind as far as that goes regarding Jessie Vang and Katrina Baur. I would almost guarantee that they're looking to obtain some more information, and I would say that they're eager to hear what Katrina Baur may have to say or not say, what kind of deal she may want. It could be anything from her trying to negotiate a guilty plea on the existing charges of endangering her child, or it could be all the way up to, I want to tell you what Jessie Vang perhaps did and where Elijah is. It could be anything. So we'll wait on the rest of the information to come out to see what she's going to share, but we're going to go over the recent hearing as well. I'll play that in just a moment. Recently, though, they just had a birthday party for Elijah Vue, and let's go over here. They had a dinosaur theme because Elijah likes dinosaurs, and they had bright green and blue and dinosaur stickers, stuff for kids to do, face painting. And it was really just a lot about awareness, to make sure that the community knows about Elijah, make sure that everybody is aware of the ongoing court process, the ongoing search and investigation into what happened to him, where is he, and ensuring that he gets justice, because his family, they are devoted to, no matter who did this, we want answers, we want justice, we want to know where Elijah is, and that family has been very dedicated to ensuring that they show up for Elijah in any way they possibly can to try to help get answers. At this recent court appearance, Elijah Vue's father, who is incarcerated, he spoke out as well. Jessie Vang is not his father. That is just his mother's boyfriend. And I don't even know that. There's some interesting information from the past where Katrina Baur had alleged essentially human trafficking against Jessie Vang, and then later she dropped away from testifying to any of that in court. Nothing ever happened with that. But her and Jessie Vang, it's not a recent boyfriend or anything like that came into their lives. She has a very deep history with this person, and so does Elijah's father, who is incarcerated at the moment. He spoke out at the hearing. It sounds like he is all in favor of figuring out where his son is also. I think a lot of people were surprised to see him show up to the hearing, but everybody surrounding them, no matter how you feel about that person, everyone surrounding them has rallied behind the fact of, we want to know where is Elijah and what's happened with him. So that was just recently, and like I said, the family is just absolutely amazing about supporting this entire effort and leading that effort. So on the screen there, you'll see, if you're watching on a video platform, I have the hearing up. We're going to go over that hearing really quickly.
Another child, and there is a pending CHIPS case, we would ask that it be modified in accordance with that CHIPS case, whatever the department and the court orders in that case. I think that's more in line with what we typically see in any of the cases involving children, and still allows for safety. My anticipation would be it would be supervised visits. I did try to contact the social worker. Well, I did contact the social worker yesterday, but she wouldn't give me any specific information, obviously without a release being signed, but I would imagine that that still safeguards any concerns that the court has regarding any contact, and it could be specifically just for her daughter as well. But I think to just exclude and have a blanket no contact for anyone under 18 is not warranted, and there's other alternatives to have safe contact. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney LaBrie?
Judge, the state is opposed to any bail modification. In previous hearings, we've gone over Ms. Baur's prior record. She does have missed court appearances in 17 CT 752 out of Gamey County. She failed to appear on February 1st, 2018. Bench warrant was issued. Her return on warrant was February 9th. February 16th, 2018, she failed to appear. Bench warrant was issued. Return on warrant was May 23rd. On August 14th, 2018, she failed to appear for a plea hearing. Bench warrant was authorized. Her return on warrant was October 19th. November 6th, not even a month later, she failed to appear. Again, bench warrant, return on warrant was about November 15th. She also had 17 CT 236, where she failed to appear on June 21st, 2017, and her return on warrant for that was a couple days later. More recent, she also has convictions for disorderly conduct out of Outagamie County in 2015, and in 2011, disorderly conduct in Winnebago County. She does have out-of-state contacts that we had mentioned before, but I don't have dispositions on from 2014 out of Las Vegas, so she has out-of-state contacts as well. I know the missed court appearances are several years old, but it's still a concern that she did have multiple missed court appearances in a prior case. And clearly this is a serious case. As the court knows, we've gone over the facts of this case in previous arguments, and it's extremely serious, and these involve the neglect of 2 different young children. I'm also concerned with her candor to the court, as in a petition that she had filed recently, she's indicating her monetary savings account under oath with a notary was around $1,200, but we've got information from different bank records that is over $5,000. And she has income coming in about $1,000 a month right now. So at this point, the information I have is that there's a minimum of $5,000 in a savings account, which wasn't disclosed on that petition. I think the original cash bond that was set is appropriate. I think to reduce it to $5,000 cash is not appropriate. So we would object to that modification. As far as, furthermore, we don't have any information on where she would be living. As we had noted, we weren't going to put a specific address on, but we don't even know what county she would be living in, what the situation would be, who it would be with, if it would be family, friends, that type of information. So that is also lacking. As far as the no contact, the specific person she's looking at contact with is a victim in this case. I did reach out to one of the attorneys handling that matter. I'm still waiting for some additional information to see if there could be some supervised contact or something workable. But until I receive that information back from them at this point, I would object to the no contact being lifted. If the court wants to put that on for review, maybe in a week, we should have more information on that issue. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll wait just a second here for Mr. Vue to get unmuted. He indicated he wanted to make a statement. While we're waiting for that, though, Attorney Gratz, without getting into the specifics, because I don't want things about who she'd be with at this point, I just need to know, county-wise, what's your understanding as to where she would be staying if she were able to post bail?
I was trying to verify that I was not purposefully neglecting your request. I believe it would be Juneau.
Juneau County?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Vue, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Vue, as a victim in the case, you have the right to address the court under Marcy's law at any proceeding. This would be one. Because of the fact that bail, we're just dealing with the very limited issue of bail, I'd like you to keep your remarks towards anything in regards to whether or not you feel the court should grant or deny the bail motion. Should there be a need to hear from you in other regards, you'll certainly get that opportunity. But for today's purposes, if you could just keep it to the issue of bail, that would be appreciated. But go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask you to deny bail due to the fact that my son is still missing, and we need answers. And I think Katrina Baur has the answer that we all are looking for, and my family. And I'm asking you guys to deny bail at this time.
All right, anything else, sir?
Also, I don't think she's going to be able to make up to her court appearance if you guys were ever to give her bond. And I don't think she's going to fulfill that fulfillment come to court. She will be a flight risk because in the past 6 years living with her, I was the one who had to take her to court and everything else.
All right, anything else, Mr. Vue?
No, Judge.
Okay. So here's where we're at, and Attorney Labrie is correct in that most of the ground has been covered previously. I understand Attorney Gratz is new to the case. To her credit, she seems to have gotten in touch with an awful lot of people in an awfully short period of time. However, it doesn't really change the court's opinion in regards to modifying the bail. I don't think $5,000 is a sufficient amount given the nature of what's been alleged here and what the court knows thus far from the complaint. To keep someone appearing for court when they're supposed to, I understand the issue, or the argument I should say, in regards to the ability to conduct hearings by Zoom. And as I'm sure Attorney Gratz knows and Attorney Labrie knows, I conduct a lot of business by Zoom. It lets me do things that I wouldn't have been able to do previously or would have had to reschedule prior to the advent of Zoom. But one thing I can't control when it comes to Zoom hearings is where somebody's zooming in from. And in most cases, it doesn't matter to me. I just need to make sure I have the person. In Ms. Baur's case, however, it would matter to me a great deal. She needs to be where I need to be sure she's able to be at court. I can tell you, Attorney Gratz, for the sake of things going forward, it would be a really hard sell. I'm not saying it's an impossible ask, but it would be a really hard sell to get the court to sign off on an address in another county other than Manitowoc on a bail modification. If she's able to, at some point, to post the bail as it's stated, or as it's currently said, I should say, I don't get to choose, really, where she stays outside of whatever conditions may have been set already, but absent that, that would be difficult, just given the circumstances here, given, everything that's been discussed up to this point. It's just, it's a bridge too far for the court. And in regards to the condition about contact with the minor child, I get that to a certain point, we're dealing with a child that's a victim. I think that's sort of offset by the fact that in a lot of cases, let's call them typical cases like this, even though I hate using that phrase, the children aren't taken away from the parents a lot of the time, and the parents are allowed contact. What I'm going to do is this. As far as that condition of the bail goes, I'm going to modify the condition that she have no contact with anyone under the age of 18 to she would be allowed to have supervised contact with her children only in the context of any pending CHIPS cases only. That, I think, avoids us having to come back in the event that Attorney Labrie were to find out from the worker that supervised contact could be arranged. In this case, supervised contact would have to be arranged, or it wouldn't be allowed. And I can't imagine a scenario in which if Mr. Vue's son were to be found, that a CHIPS case wouldn't immediately be filed. So this would cover that in the event that that took place. But that's what I'll do as far as the bail goes. I'm going to deny the motion as it relates to modifying the amount of cash, and I'm going to grant it as it relates to the request to modify the condition with contact with anyone under the age of 18 to contact with her own children, and it has to be supervised in the context of any pending CHIPS case. Attorney Gratz, I'll need you to draft an order to that effect. Were you able to follow what I'm looking for, or do you need me to fine tune it?
I think I got it, Judge.
Sounds good. Let me just take a look here then. We don't have anything else scheduled. Attorney Gratz, since the task of reviewing what I'm sure is a fair amount of discovery falls to you, how far out would you like the court to go to set a status conference?
I think 45 to 60 days.
All right. What about 3 o'clock on October 22nd for a status by Zoom?
That works.
That's fine.
All right, so anything else we need to take up for the record today then, Attorney Labrie?
No, Judge, thank you.
Attorney Gratz?
No, thank you.
Then we're adjourned. You folks can disconnect. Stay safe.
Oops, sorry, I had to fix something there real quick. So that was essentially the hearing. And so now you're going to have Jesse Vang and Katrina Baur going back to court closer to the same time frames. Unless she happens to tell her lawyer that she wants to enter some type of negotiation or plea with the court. And then perhaps we may hear or see a plea hearing pop up at some point. If that's the case, then this date may change. Depending on what is to be shared in that, will depend on how this is all moving forward. I'm really hopeful that once her attorney is caught up to speed, that she will divulge whatever it is that she perhaps might want to share with the court and get this moving forward. Elijah's family is absolutely just pained over the fact that this is still ongoing, that she has not given any information as to where Elijah is, has not spoke to her knowledge, perhaps, of what may or may not have happened. She's really not been forthcoming with her family either. She has been consistently seeking a better reduction in her bond. I've been quite curious about that. Of course, anybody that's sitting in jail, they want out, of course. But given how silent she's been on many things, it does alert me a bit how much she has tried to get herself out of there. So I'm very curious to see what happens and see if we do happen to notice a plea hearing pop up or anything like that. But continue to share his face, continue to share the vehicle. On our website under Elijah Vue's case file, you can go to our website, which is themorningfeed.com, and go over to the missing case files. Elijah's there. You can see the car. You can see the timeline below of when everything happened. So if you are local or you were in the area at the time, perhaps you might know something. There we also have all of the numbers for reporting everything you might need to report. In fact, let's just bring that up right now really quickly while we're all still here, because it may be a moment before we have an opportunity to bring up his case again. Looks like it may be a month or so before we're talking about more court hearings. But I just want to, here, let's put this up on the screen. So yeah, I just want to go down here really quick for anybody who might know anything. You can call the Two Rivers Police Department in Wisconsin at 844-267-6648. And you can submit an anonymous tip by using the form right there on our case file at themorningfeed.com. Or you can call Two Rivers Police Department. They're eager to solve this. They're eager to figure out where Elijah is. I do believe they would encourage anybody's information about this case and about helping find Elijah. They have searched all over Shoto, the East Twin River, Charles and Winifred Springs area, the reserve there, Highway 10 around Whitelaw and Reedsville, Calumet County landfill, manholes. They've done a landfill search, a 70-team drone search. Waterways have been searched with kayaks, sonar equipment. The salvage yard, Avery Salvage Yard, they've been searched. There's been aerial searches. Aside from just the 70-team drone search, there was aerial searches prior to all of that. You can see up on the screen as well that this is, let me fix this really quick so that you can see it better. See, there we go. That is Jesse Vang on the very end there on the right, and along with Katrina Baur, if you happen to see either one of them. And let's scroll down here too so that everyone can see the car. This is the car. It has significant, unique rust on the sides of it. It was an Altima. Looks like a champagne type color, maybe. If you happen to see that, the rust along the bottom of it is pretty, I would think you would recognize that had you seen it. So if you saw this in around February 19th of this year, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening, let law enforcement know where you saw it, what you saw it doing, what it was up to. I'm sure that they are still trying to hone in even closer on the timeline and figure those details out. So we continue to follow his case. We'll continue to follow the proceedings and any action we have on the ground with searches or with public events that are being held. We'll try to keep you in the loop about that as well. Next time we'll try to announce that both here and on our social media ahead of the event. I meant to this time and it didn't work out. So share any flyers, news releases, other media regarding Elijah's disappearance, regarding his flyers, the ongoing court process. The more public pressure, the more awareness, the better for the chances of getting more information. All right, Thank you for supporting Elijah by watching this. Make sure that you support others who are also supporting Elijah in genuine ways by representing the facts, not exploiting him in any kind of way. Make sure you protect the victims from being re-victimized by additional bad actors, whether it be online, out in the community. We have so much awareness to have when we're engaging with things like this anymore, with as easy as it is to take advantage of and re-exploit people. We don't want to see that happen. So make sure that you follow people and support creators who are sticking to the facts, who are not inserting their own salacious theories that can be harmful to the case in so many different ways. When cases do happen to get more exposure, you get police departments with limited resources who then get inundated by people in the public who are calling in about theories or things that they may think or allege about the case. People do really wild stuff. So when you put random theories out, when you blame random people, I know we did allude to Katrina Baur's guilt in this podcast, but it's all based on the facts. The facts and evidence as they stand show that there is more that they know about what they were doing. There is admissions in the texts about, discipline that clearly is not humane, clearly is not the way that you discipline a child, and clearly is actually criminal behavior. It's not discipline. So there's a lot there to go on, and it's not a big sell there. You follow the facts. Those are the facts, and they make Katrina Baur and Jesse Vang look extremely suspicious and suspect in the situation, and law enforcement agrees, and they have named them as such. So those are the facts. We're not trying to disparage people. If there is no facts to blame a certain person or to point fingers or go this direction or go that direction or insert information that just isn't the case, then it can be harmful to investigations. It can be harmful to victims, their families, the overall case. Being able to go forward and prosecute that case properly and ensure a proper conviction. It all does play into each other. All these little things we do have ripple effects. So in supporting the victims, support the victims that way too, to make sure that they're not re-exploited by bad actors who may want to turn their case into a circus. We've seen it over and over again. So thank you again for supporting Elijah. We'll be back with more about his case as soon as we can. Any type of searches or any other activity going on. All right. Thank you. Have a great, 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 great day, night, afternoon, whatever it is when you're listening to this.